Hello, and welcome to our latest webinar, Build a Mobile App in 60 Minutes. I'm your host, Tanya O'Connor, Product Marketing Manager for OpenEdge. We're here today to introduce you to an exciting product from Progress, Telerik Platform for OpenEdge, helping you to modernize and mobilize your OpenEdge applications. So let's get started. The Telerik Platform for OpenEdge combines the best of two worlds. When we combined our forces, we had a shared vision of helping companies to advance their business by taking advantage of the digital transformation. Users have a more personal experience with technology now, and they expect their work experience to mirror that they see in everyday life. This partly translates into a beautiful interface, intuitive experience, and access anywhere, going mobile. The Telerik platform for OpenEdge does just that. You'll be able to easily access your OpenEdge and role-based data sources, create beautiful app views, and a navigation with the visual tool known as Screen Builder. And you'll save time with App Manager Live Sync, which allows you to make changes in the code editor in real time across all devices. Today, we're joined by Nikolay Atanasyev, Senior Product Manager and the Tools and Platform Development Tool Management Team with Telerik. For over a decade, Nikolay has been enabling developers to build beautiful web, desktop, and mobile apps. He's here with us today to demonstrate how you can mobilize your OpenEdge applications using the Telerik platform for OpenEdge. Nikolay?
Hey guys, my name is Nikolay Atanasov, and I'm part of the Tools and Platforms product management team here at Telerik. And today I'm going to show you how to build a mobile app with Telerik platform in less than 60 minutes. So I created this account specifically for the webinar, so it's an empty account as if I logged into Telerik platform for the very first time. And as you can see on this initial page, the navigation is pretty straightforward. There is just one main call to action, the create app button. So I'm just gonna hit it and start creating my mobile app. So when I have to select from the couple of options that I have when I start to build my app, I am provided with the options to choose between hybrid and native, or even mobile web. I'm gonna choose hybrid because the Progress Data Service support is coming with the hybrid mobile applications in Telerik platform. The second options I'm going to choose would be start from a blank app with Screen Builder. I'm going to choose that because I want to start not by hard coding my application, but I want to use the Screen Builder functional design capabilities to quickly configure my app. And actually, the whole approach in this webinar would be more of a no-code development so that I can show you how to build an app without writing a single line of code. In the connect to your data section of the screen, I'm going to choose not now because at this point there is nothing here for me to select that's going to connect me to Progress Data Services. That's something I will do a bit later, again in a pretty visual way. But at this point, I'm going to choose not now. I'm going to give a name to my application, like my OE app. I can also give a description. I will give the same description as my title. I could choose whatever. So then, as soon as I'm ready here, I'm going to hit the Create App button. And I will be redirected to Screen Builder. So let's wait a couple of seconds. And here is my Screen Builder popping up. So Screen Builder pretty much has, on the left side, you would see the configuration panels. On the right side, you would see the design surface where any configuration that's done will be applied over the design surface and the emulator here on the right side. Before I actually create the views or the UI components for this application, like here, I will go into the Data tab and I will configure my data endpoints that I need to use for my application, that I need to connect to. So I will select the Add Provider button, and I will choose the Progress Data Service option. So here I will be able to provide the URI to the service in the catalog, plus give a name and a title to my data provider. So I'm gonna give a name to my provider. I'm gonna call it Progress Data Provider Anonymous, as that's going to be the authentication tab that I'm going to use here. I will also add anonymous to my title. I will actually show you two ways of connecting to the data provider through two types of authentication model. So anonymous, and then we're going to use basic. So now I'm starting with the anonymous type of authentication. So that's why I changed the name in the title so that I will then recognize the proper provider. I'm gonna paste here the URI to the service, which would be this part of this URI, and then I'm gonna paste the actual path to the JSON file or the catalog that I'm gonna use. As soon as I do that, I will hit the Get from Catalog URI button. I will leave here the anonymous authentication model, and I'm going to hit download. In a couple of seconds, the green check mark appears here, meaning that the catalog is properly loaded. I'm leaving the authentication model again as anonymous, and I am adding the data provider here. I will also add another type of data provider with a basic authentication model. For that purpose, I'm going to again hit the Add Provider button, select Progress Data Service, and here I'm going to configure my basic authentication connection to the Progress Data Service. So I will call this provider basic. I'll just add basic to the name and the title so that I can later on differentiate between the two data providers that I have. I will paste again the URI to the service and the catalog, and I'm going to upload a local JSON file just to show you that this is also possible. A local JSON file meaning the catalog itself. I'm going to load it from my local file directory like this. I will still need the service and the catalog URIs, but I can also upload the file from a local system. And I'm going to choose another type of authentication model that's going to be basic, and that's going to require me to actually log in. That's going to require the user to actually authenticate before any data is fetched into the UI. So for that reason, Screen Builder will prompt me to add a specific view that's called authentication to my application so that the user can actually log in by using the username and the password for his account. So I'm going to select this box, and Screen Builder will automatically add an authentication view to my application. Actually, when I hit the Add button, Screen Builder will redirect me to the authentication view so that I can further set it up. So I'm clicking the Add button, and now I'm in the configuration panel of my authentication view. It's not available yet on the design surface, but it's going to appear quite soon after we configure a couple of settings. So you will notice that now I'm in the Views tab. So obviously I can define the views that I need, or the screens, if you want, that I need to be available in my application. So I'm going to start with the authentication view because that's where Screen Builder redirected me to after choosing the basic authentication model. So I can give a name to my view. I will leave it like that because I feel like this is pretty much enough. I will leave the title as authentication, or let me add basic, so that I know that this is specifically related to the basic authentication model. I will make this view appear in my main navigation, meaning here. So I will choose some icon like this that's going to appear here for my authentication view. Actually, let me hit the apply button now. And yeah, and here it is. So this is my main navigation. And at this point, this is pretty much enough for the authentication view. I'm not gonna use the Progress Data Service Provider here, but I'm gonna use it in another screen of my mobile app that I'm gonna build in a second. So as soon as I'm ready with the authentication view, I'm going to add more views or screens to my application. I'm hitting the Add View button, and now I'm gonna select Data List. So the data list, again, I can see all the configuration options for the data list here. I don't see the data list in my design surface because I have not included it yet into the main navigation. So I'm gonna do that like this. And it's gonna appear right here. Yeah, and it's still empty because there is nothing. Like this is like just like default data, but there is nothing bound to that data list that will be shown here. So I'm going to configure my data list in the data binding options of the Screen Builder configuration panel. So as you can see here, I have two data providers, the two that I just set, like the Progress Data Service Anonymous and the Progress Data Service Basic. I'm going to choose the Progress Data Service Basic because this way I will be able to show you the entire user flow from the moment when the user has to log in to then loading the proper data for that user. So as soon as I select the Progress Data Service Basic provider or the catalog, I will see in the next drop-down here, content type, I will see all the tables that are available as part of this data provider, as part of this catalog for me to choose from. Or in other words, the table that I'm gonna map its fields to the fields of my data list. So I am selecting the customer table, and just bear in mind that the data that's in the customer table is pretty much it's not a real life data. It's more of a dummy data. So it's not do not expect to see real life data coming from that table, but still it's a sample data that will show you how you can actually feed your UI or the data list with data coming from your catalogs. So the item template and the master detail sections of that configuration will allow me to map the data list items to the table fields that I want to show. So let me, for example, define that for each data list item, I want its heading text to actually show me, let's say, the sales rep. And each subheading of that same item, I want it to show me the name field of the table. Then I want to further configure the data list so that when the end user clicks on a data list item, or somewhere here, for example, I want that user to further drill down and see more details about each data list item. So I'm gonna say that upon hitting a data list item, I want to see for this sales rep with this name, I want to see the address, I want to see the state, and I want to see more details like, let's say, num customer number, or let's say num orders. And I can choose from a couple of more configuration options here. Like I can choose pull to refresh, so that the data will be updated when the user pulls from the top. I will choose load on demand, so that more data will be loaded as the user scrolls further down. And I can choose also filtering and grouping, but I'm not gonna choose that for this application because I don't have that complex data or that much data at this point. And I'm gonna hit the apply button. So after I've added the data list view, now I will have to actually preview that in action and see how the user will be able to authenticate and then see the data in the data list after a successful login. So there's one note here, and something that's important. For best experience with HTTP links, the simulator has to run in a new window. And because for this Progress Data Provider Basic, we used HTTP to connect to the catalog and the service. Although we uploaded a local JSON file, I will have to open the simulator in a new window. That's pretty expected because you will see the node right here in the design on the design surface itself. So I am opening the simulator or the emulator in a new window here, and I'm going to select the authentication view so that I can log in. But before that, there is something I will have to configure for the authentication view, and that's I want to make it to redirect the user to the data list screen automatically. So I'm coming here. Actually, restart this for a second. So I am coming back here, and I'm gonna log in. Now I'm gonna be redirected to the, this is the data that's coming from my Progress Data Service Basic provider. So as I told you, this is more of a dummy data, nothing real life, but these are the details that we wanted to see in the data list. So we had the data list configured in a way that we wanted it to show us the just give me 1 second. Oh no, I have to log in again because it lost the, sorry for that. Yeah, so we wanted it to show the, in the heading text, we wanted to show the sales rep. We wanted it to show the name, which is obviously not real life. These are not real life names, but then when you click on an item, we wanted to see the state plus num orders. So this is what the master detail will actually show. Like this part here kind of configures everything that's shown upon hitting a data list item. So now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add a new data list view, but this time I'm gonna connect it to the other Progress Data Provider that we created, the one that's using the authentication, the anonymous authentication model. So I'm gonna go back to my design surface because the data provider that I'm gonna use, the one that's with the anonymous authentication model, it's coming through HTTPS, and I will be able to actually preview the output here. I won't have to go and open a new preview window. So I'm going to add a new data list, and I'm gonna name it like data list, let's say anonymous, and like this. And I'm gonna also add it to the main navigation here. I will select, let's say, another icon that I want to use, something that will help me make a difference, like, okay, let's say this, and then I will set the data binding. So I will use the Pros Data Service Anonymous data provider, and again, just one table is available in this catalog, so it's already selected. And I'm gonna, again, just like I did for the other data list, I'm gonna map the fields data list to the fields in the table that I want to connect to or to show. So let's say in the data list, for each data list item, I want to see the city, let's say the country, and then upon selecting a data list item, I want to show the, let's say, the address, the phone, and probably the custom number. And again, I have further configuration options like pull to refresh, load on demand, and so forth. You will notice that I'm not selecting image here because at the moment there is no way to bind the image of the data list to an image in the table coming from OpenEdge catalog. So, but that will be coming shortly. At the moment, this is not available. So as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna apply the changes, and my new data list should appear, yeah, in my mobile app main navigation, like here, and I can see all the data without even logging in because the authentication model was anonymous, so no login is required. So I can see here the fields that I selected to see, like the city, the country, and then upon hitting, I will see the address, which obviously here is not an address at all, the phone number, and the customer number. I can scroll further down and see other items as well. So yeah, this is the second type of data list that I created. So now as the next step, I'm gonna publish this application to the Telerik Platform's App Manager store so that I can share the application with selected users so that they can test it. I'm not gonna publish the application to the store yet, but I still would like to enable selected users to be able to access that without even going through the application store. Before I go into managing the publishing though, I have the option, like from Screen Builder, I have the option to open the application in App Builder so that I can further change and adjust, configure whatever, anything in the code. I'm not gonna do that now, but you can imagine a use case where a business developer or a business analyst or like more of a business persona starts to configure the application to a point where it's either done or to a point where there needs to be a developer to further customize it or further adjust it. So let's say that I'm this business analyst and I pretty much created the screens that I need. I show the data that I need. So now I can either go and directly publish my application, which again happens through App Builder, or I can let the developer go into App Builder and further customize my application. So I'm going into App Builder because I either way have to go through App Builder to be able to publish my app. But here you will see that you have like all the HTML and JavaScript that you would need to further edit and customize so that you can achieve the experience of the mobile app that you need. But ideally for most of the scenarios, for most of the needs, a no-code development should be pretty much enough to achieve decent results with the mobile app. So now I'm gonna go into the publish section of Telerik platform. So I'm gonna choose the publish menu here in App Builder, and I'm gonna select that I want to publish my application to application stores. So right afterwards, I will have the option to choose among different application stores, and I'm not going to publish this application to the real App Store today, but I'm going to publish it to the Telerik App Manager store, so to speak. So I'm going to select Telerik App Manager. I'm also going to select Enable App Manager Live Sync so that whenever I do a change or an update to my application, that change will automatically be synchronized with all the devices that have this application installed. I wouldn't have to go through deploying the application again, be it on the Telerik App Manager store or on Google Play or on App Store or Windows Phone, whatever. I wouldn't have to go and submit the application again. I have to choose iOS here because I pretty much did an iOS application. It could be an Android application as well, but I'm gonna select iOS because I will show you then how you can get it on an iOS device, how simple it is. So this is pretty much it here. I'm hitting next, and my application is being published. So I will enable push notifications and email messages for the end users, and I'm gonna make my application public for anyone who has the link or the link to the QR code. So a couple of seconds. So the publish actually triggers the build of the application and the publishing itself. So as soon as the publish is completed, you will see the option to go to the App Manager store and manage your application and distribute it to others who can install it on their devices. I'm going to hit open here, and I'm going to be redirected to the App Manager store or the deployment section of the platform. Here I will see my application published. So now I want to get the link to it and install it on my device. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. So now all you have to do is pretty, again, straightforward. You gotta open your iPhone, like because I selected iOS already, you gotta open your iPhone device. You gotta select a QR reader, some kind of application you have that can read the QR code here. You scan the QR, and you will be right away prompted to install this My OE app hybrid. And it's going to be installed on your phone right away. And then you can simply open the application, and it's as simple as that. And then you can see all the data and all the functionality coming in the very same way as you can see it in the simulator in the browser. So yeah, so it's as simple as that. So this is pretty much my demo how to build a mobile application in even less than 60 minutes. So now it's time for all your questions. So feel free to ask them. And Tanya.
Thank you, Nikolai, for that great demo. If you have any questions about Telerik Platform for OpenEdge, you can reach out to us by contacting your account manager. If you'd like to schedule a one-on-one Telerik Platform for OpenEdge demo with a member of our team, you can follow the link displayed on your screen or click the link in the description for this video. Thank you so much for watching.